Hello, lovely learner. Welcome back to Everyday English Learning, your cozy place for natural language.
Hi there, I'm Jake.
And I'm Lily. Today, we are talking about the daily rhythms of our living spaces.
Specifically, the work that keeps a home running smoothly. Housework, chores, the things we do every single day.
Imagine waking up on a quiet Saturday morning. You walk downstairs and step into the kitchen.
You look around. Is the kitchen perfectly clean, or is the sink full of dirty plates?
Exactly. A clean kitchen feels peaceful. A messy kitchen just feels like immediate stress to me.
That is so true. Waking up to a clean house is honestly one of the best feelings in the world.
But someone has to do that hard work. Today, we will learn how to describe those daily household tasks in English.
We will share the natural verbs and phrases that native speakers use when they clean up the house.
We will also talk about the chores we actually enjoy doing. Because believe it or not, I find some housework deeply relaxing.
Oh, I agree. There is one chore I find very calming, but there is also one task I always avoid.
I think I know which one you hate. I have one household chore that I absolutely refuse to do, too.
We will reveal those hated chores a bit later. First, let's start with the basics. What makes a task a chore?
Well, the dictionary might say a chore is just a routine task, especially a household one. But I think of chores as the rhythm of a home.
That sounds almost poetic. To me, a chore is just the boring work standing between me and my weekend relaxation.
Fair. But think about the atmosphere you can create. When I do the chores on a Sunday, I open the windows to let fresh air in. I put on a good podcast.
Okay, that does sound nice. Setting a good mood makes the work feel less like a punishment.
Exactly. And notice the verb we use. In English, we usually say we do the chores. We do not say we make them.
Right. We do the laundry, we do the dishes, and we do the housework. It is always the verb do.
It is a small detail, but very natural. I also think we need to talk about the difference between cleaning and tidying up.
Oh, that is a great distinction. Tidying up is what I do when a friend says they are coming over in 10 minutes.
Yes, you are not deep cleaning. You grab the magazines, put your shoes in the closet, and straighten the pillows on the sofa.
Exactly. You are just organizing the space so it looks neat. But cleaning requires actual supplies. You need a sponge, some soap, and water.
Right. Let's go back to the kitchen scene. What is the first thing you do when you need to clean a messy kitchen?
I always start by clearing the surfaces. I put away leftover food, load the dishwasher, and wipe down the counters.
Wipe down. That is a perfect everyday phrase. It means to clean a flat surface with a wet cloth.
I actually enjoy wiping down the kitchen counters at night. The smell of the lemon cleaning spray signals that my workday is officially over.
See? You do find some chores relaxing. It acts as a mental transition from work time to rest time.
Okay, you caught me. Wiping down the counter is satisfying. But what about the chores that never really end?
You are definitely talking about doing the laundry.
Yes, you spend hours washing, drying, and folding all the clothes. You put them neatly into your drawer. You feel so proud.
And then what happens?
You look down. You are wearing clothes. Therefore, you are already making more dirty laundry. It is completely hopeless.
That is a terrible realization. But it is so true. It is a cycle that never stops.
Laundry is a continuous cycle. So are the floors. Sweeping and mopping are chores I do constantly because dust just magically appears.
I usually sweep to pick up the dry dust, and then I mop to wash the floor with water. But honestly, I prefer vacuuming.
Really? A vacuum cleaner is so loud and heavy. I much prefer sweeping with a quiet broom. It feels more peaceful.
That is interesting. But sweeping has one major problem. You sweep the dirt into a little pile and try to brush it into the dustpan.
Ah, yes. And there is always that tiny line of dust left on the floor. You can never get the last little line.
It is so frustrating. You just end up sweeping that line slowly across the entire kitchen.
So we have tidying up, wiping down, sweeping, and mopping. These are the daily maintenance tasks.
But then there is deep cleaning. Those tasks require physical effort, cleaning chemicals, and usually a pair of rubber gloves.
The heavy chores we actively avoid, which means it is time to reveal our darkest household secrets.
All right, I will go first. The household chore I completely despise is cleaning the bathroom. Specifically, the shower and the bathtub.
Oh, that is a heavy chore. It takes so much physical effort, and you always get your clothes wet.
Exactly. You cannot just wipe down a shower. You have to really scrub the tiles. Scrub means to rub a surface hard, usually with a brush and soap, to remove dirt.
You have to use strong chemicals too. You scrub the tiles, wash the glass, and clean the floor. It is exhausting work.
It really is. I will share a quick story about this. Last month, I noticed my shower glass was getting cloudy. Hard water stains and soap were building up on the glass doors.
Ah, the classic cloudy glass. It happens so fast. Did you clean it immediately?
No, of course not. I decided to put it off. I told myself I would do it the next weekend when I had more energy.
Put off is a great phrasal verb. It means to delay doing something. Let me guess. You put it off again the next weekend?
Yes, I did. I put it off for a whole month. And here is a useful sentence structure for everyone to practice. The longer you put off a chore, the harder it gets.
That is the absolute truth of housework. The longer you put off washing the dishes, the harder the food sticks to the plates.
Exactly. Or the longer you put off doing laundry, the bigger the mountain of clothes becomes. When I finally cleaned that shower, I had to put on yellow rubber gloves, spray a heavy chemical cleaner, and scrub for an hour.
Okay, that made me laugh. I can just picture you angrily scrubbing the glass on a Saturday afternoon, regretting all your life choices.
My arms were shaking by the end of it. It was terrible. I learned my lesson. The longer you put off a chore, the harder it gets. Now, what is the chore that you always avoid?
My hated chore is cleaning out the refrigerator. I absolutely cannot stand it.
Really? I do not mind that one so much. You just check the dates, throw away old food, and maybe wipe a shelf.
But it is the mystery of it, Lily. You find a plastic container in the back of the fridge. You do not remember cooking it. You do not know what is inside.
Okay, that was accurate. Opening those containers is a terrifying experience.
It is. You have to hold your breath, open the lid, and quickly dump the mystery food into the trash. Then you have to wash the terrible-smelling container with hot water.
I see your point. It is not physically hard like scrubbing a shower, but it is mentally challenging. You are dealing with weird smells and sticky jars of jam.
Exactly. You have to take all the food out, wash the heavy glass shelves in the sink, and then organize everything back inside. I put off doing it for months.
There is that phrasal verb again. But here is a counterpoint. As much as we hate these deep cleaning tasks, there is a massive psychological reward when they are finished.
You mean that strange feeling of pride when you open the door and stare at an empty, sparkling clean refrigerator?
Yes. Or taking a hot shower in a bathroom that looks like a luxury hotel. You feel like your whole life is suddenly under control, just because you scrubbed some tiles.
It is funny how our environment completely affects our minds. But if a clean house feels so peaceful, why do we constantly buy more things that make our spaces harder to maintain?
That is the ultimate question, isn't it? We want a cozy home, so we buy decorative pillows, little statues, and extra blankets. But eventually, all those things just become dust collectors.
Dust collector. That is such a descriptive phrase. You buy a beautiful bookshelf, and suddenly you spend 20 minutes every week just dusting around tiny picture frames and old candles.
Exactly. And this brings up a crucial distinction in housework. Cleaning is removing dirt, like washing dishes, scrubbing the shower, or mopping the floor. But we also have to talk about decluttering.
Decluttering. Let's break that down. Clutter is a great noun. It refers to a messy, unorganized collection of things, usually things you do not really need.
So, to declutter means to remove that mess. You go through your items and throw things away or donate them. And I think many people confuse cleaning with organizing clutter.
That is a brilliant point. You can organize your 30 different coffee mugs into a perfect, colorful row in the cabinet. But at the end of the day, you still have too many mugs.
I used that exact example because I know exactly how many mugs you have in your kitchen.
Okay, I feel personally attacked right now, Lily. I love my giant collection of coffee mugs. Each one has a specific memory attached to it.
I am sorry. I could not resist. But you see my point, right? You cannot easily wipe down a kitchen counter if it is completely covered in coffee mugs, a heavy blender, and unopened mail.
No, that is funny, and you are completely right. It is a very different type of chore. We spend so much of our weekend energy just moving objects from one place to another.
We often call that shuffling things around. You pick up a stack of papers from the kitchen table and put it on the living room desk. You did not actually clean anything or fix the clutter.
You just relocated the problem. You moved the mess to a new zip code. So, the true secret to an easy weekend of chores is not buying a better cleaning spray. It is just owning less stuff.
In theory, yes. Minimalism sounds wonderful for managing housework. If you only have one plate and one spoon, you only have to wash one plate and one spoon.
But here is the counterpoint to that idea. A completely empty minimalist room is incredibly easy to clean, but it feels completely cold. It feels like a hospital waiting room, not a human home.
That is the true limitation. We do not want to live in empty boxes. We want our spaces to feel warm, personal, and lived in. A cozy home should have books, art, and comfortable things.
It is a delicate balance. You want enough items to feel comfortable and express your personality, but not so many items that you feel like you are hoarding.
Hoarding is a very strong word. To hoard means to collect and keep excessively large amounts of things, often because you cannot emotionally let them go.
Right. Most of us are not hoarding, but we are definitely holding on to things we do not actually use, like that old sweater in the back of the closet.
Or the heavy exercise equipment that just sits in the corner of the bedroom. You know, the expensive stationary bike that slowly becomes a chair for dirty laundry.
Ah, the classic laundry chair. Every home seems to have one. So, we have cleaning, tidying, shuffling things around, and decluttering. How do we actually build a system to manage all of this without feeling completely overwhelmed?
The secret is not working harder on the weekends. The secret is doing tiny tasks every single day so the mess never grows. Many people call this the daily reset.
I like the sound of a reset. How exactly does it work? Do you just set a timer and run around the house?
Pretty much. You set a timer for 15 minutes every evening. You do not try to deep clean the bathroom. You just tidy up the living room, put away the clutter, and wipe down the surfaces.
Ah, that perfectly matches my evening kitchen routine. I clear the table, wipe down the counters, and load the dishwasher. When I wake up the next morning, the house feels peaceful.
Exactly. You are giving your future self a gift. And to manage the bigger problem of owning too much stuff, you can use the one in, one out rule.
Let me guess. If you buy a new sweater, you have to donate an old sweater to a charity.
You got it. It is a strict boundary for your home. If you bring a new item in, an old item must go out.
That is a brilliant rule. But what if I buy a new coffee mug? Do I really have to throw away one of my precious memories?
Yes, Jake. Even the coffee mugs. The rule applies to everything. It is the only way to stop the clutter from building up in your cabinets.
Okay, that made me laugh. It sounds painful, but I know you are right. It stops those extra items from becoming permanent dust collectors.
It really does. But what about the heavy chores? The ones we confessed to earlier, like my cloudy shower glass or your terrifying refrigerator. How do we stop avoiding those?
That is the real challenge. You cannot fix a deeply dirty shower or a sticky fridge shelf with a simple 15-minute evening reset.
Very true. For those heavy tasks, I use a method called habit pairing. You pair a household chore you hate with an activity you love. For example, I only let myself listen to my favorite podcast when I am scrubbing the bathroom.
That is very clever. It completely distracts your mind from the physical effort. I could listen to an exciting audiobook while I wash the mystery containers from the back of the fridge.
Exactly. You stop putting it off because you actually want to find out what happens next in your book. Remember our rule from earlier: the longer you put off a chore, the harder it gets.
I will definitely remember that rule. So we have the daily reset, the one in one out rule, and habit pairing. That is a solid, practical system for managing a home.
Now it is time for our listeners to practice. Think about your own home right now. What is one household chore you are currently avoiding?
Practice saying a complete sentence out loud right wherever you are. You can use this frame. I usually put off doing the laundry, but I will do it this weekend.
Or you can practice our other daily verbs. Try saying, I need to wipe down the kitchen counters, or I am going to sweep the floor.
It is amazing how much natural English you can practice just by looking around your own living room. We have covered a lot of great vocabulary today. I think it is time to review the most useful phrases.
Welcome to Meaning Moments, the part of our show where we break down the most natural vocabulary from today's conversation.
We covered a lot of great domestic English today. I am ready to review our top 5 phrases.
Our first phrase is a phrasal verb we used for cleaning surfaces. We talked about having to wipe down the kitchen counters.
I remember this one well because it is my favorite evening chore. Wiping down the kitchen feels like a transition into relaxation time.
Exactly. It simply means to clean a flat surface with a wet cloth or sponge. Let's practice it. Repeat. I need to wipe down the dining table.
I need to wipe down the dining table.
Perfect. Our second phrase is another phrasal verb. We used put off to talk about delaying chores.
Your cloudy shower glass. You kept delaying the heavy scrubbing, which means you kept putting it off.
It is so true, and it was a terrible mistake. To put off means to delay doing something you do not want to do. Let's try it. Repeat. I am putting off doing the laundry.
I am putting off doing the laundry.
Great. Now for our third item, we have a very common noun, clutter. Clutter is a messy collection of things you do not need.
And if you want to remove that mess, you use the verb version. You declutter the room by throwing things away or donating them.
Let's practice that verb together. Repeat. I am going to declutter my bedroom.
I am going to declutter my bedroom.
Speaking of cluttered bedrooms, what do we call those extra items we keep but never use? Like, maybe a shelf completely full of old coffee mugs?
Wow, you really will not let the coffee mugs go, will you? Okay, fine. Those are called dust collectors.
I could not resist. A dust collector is an object that just sits there collecting dust because you never actually use it. Let's do a mini dialogue. Jake, ask me about my exercise equipment.
Hey Lily, do you still use that heavy exercise bike in your bedroom?
No, I never use it. It is just a giant dust collector now.
That was a very realistic example. Our fifth and final item is the psychological strategy you mentioned for avoiding procrastination, habit pairing.
Yes, habit pairing is when you combine a hard chore with an enjoyable activity, like listening to a podcast while scrubbing the bathroom. Repeat. I use habit pairing to finish the heavy chores.
I use habit pairing to finish the heavy chores.
Excellent. Now let's move on to say it better. This is where we upgrade basic English into natural, everyday phrases.
I will give you a basic sentence, and Lily will upgrade it. Number 1. Basic. I will clean the kitchen counter with a wet cloth.
Better. I will wipe down the kitchen counter.
Number 2. Basic. I am delaying the bathroom chores until tomorrow.
Better. I am putting off the bathroom chores until tomorrow.
Number 3. Basic. There is too much messy stuff on this desk.
Better. There is too much clutter on this desk.
Number 4. Basic. I did not really clean. I just moved the mess from one room to another.
Better. I did not really clean. I just shuffled things around.
Number 5. Basic. That beautiful old statue is just getting dirty on the shelf.
Better. That beautiful old statue is just a dust collector.
Number 6. Basic. When I clean, I always listen to a fun audiobook at the same time.
Better. When I clean, I use habit pairing. Great upgrades. Now it is time for some guided practice. We want you, the listener, to try making your own sentences out loud.
I will give you a common situation. You try to speak the natural answer before Lily gives the solution.
Situation 1. Your friend asks why you have not washed your dirty car. Tell them you are delaying it until next week. Use the phrasal verb putting off.
You could say, I am putting off washing the car until next week.
Situation 2. Your dining table has sticky food on it. What do you need to do to the table?
You should say, I need to wipe down the table.
Situation 3. You want to describe a broken television that just sits in the garage. Call it a dust collector.
You could say, that broken television is just a dust collector.
Fantastic job! Practicing out loud is the best way to make these phrases stick in your memory.
Keep using these phrases whenever you do your own daily resets at home. I think our listeners are fully equipped to talk about housework now.
So, Jake, after all this talk about sweeping, mopping, and doing the daily reset, are you going to tackle that terrifying refrigerator this weekend?
I have to now. I cannot let those mystery containers sit there for another month. I know that the longer I put it off, the harder it gets.
Exactly. And remember to use habit pairing. Put on a really great audiobook before you even open the fridge door.
That is the plan. We covered some really helpful concepts today. From wiping down counters and doing the daily reset, to decluttering and throwing away our dust collectors.
It is amazing how just a few small habits can turn a stressful house back into a peaceful home. A clean space really does give your mind room to breathe.
Now we want to hear from you, our lovely listeners. In the comments, tell us about one dust collector in your house. What is that one item you keep but never actually use?
I am so curious to read those answers. If you enjoyed our conversation today, please subscribe to Everyday English Learning and leave us a quick review.
Your support helps us keep making these cozy episodes for you. And try to do a 15-minute daily reset tonight. Your future self will absolutely thank you.
That is perfect advice. Start small and do not overwhelm yourself. Well, it is time for us to sign off and go do some housework. I'm Lily.
And I'm Jake.
Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful, relaxing weekend, everyone.
Take care and enjoy your clean kitchen.